Hello, everybody. This is James with True North EV, and I'm here with the boss of the radio show, my wife, Dawn.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of mix it up. I've taken some of the suggestions, and I've had my wife make sort of a list, and we're gonna follow a list and actually have some sort of guidelines here. Yeah, so, Dawn, what was the first electric vehicle you wanted and why?
The first one I ever saw or kind of wanted was, I want to say it was 98, 96. We've actually had one of their very first showings. The Manitoba Electric Vehicle Association had a showing at the Earth Day at Assiniboine Park, and I believe it was one of the very first Priuses that were showing. They were showing one there, and I got to look at it and look around, and I had decided at that point, I must have been it might have been 96, because I hadn't had my license yet or anything, or even going for it, so I decided that my first vehicle was going to be either a hybrid or an electric, and I was so sure by the time I actually got around to doing it that they would be around by then.
Very disappointed that you liked a Prius.
That was all that was available.
We're gonna have a talk about that after. And obviously, we got the Hyundai Kona now. It's our only vehicle. But what was it? I know you kind of resisted a bit about it, but what was it that you liked about the Kona, and why why did you be okay with the choosing of the Kona?
I really wanted to go electric for sure. Like, the next car had to be all electric. It would just, there wasn't a choice in that. It made no sense to go hybrid anymore. Looking down the road as to where all the vehicles are going, but also even just economically, it made no sense not to. And safety feature wise, a lot of the safety features coming out of for the Kona, as well as some of the Teslas like that, which we were following more, but Kona kind of met a lot of the things that I really wanted in the safety features as well.
Such as?
Let me think now. Like the front, what is that called? What it alerts you with the front collision thing?
Collision avoidance?
Yeah. And then the side blind spots. The extra crash protection, just from it being an EV. That's all I can think of right now. I know there's some.
Then I'm not sure if I've talked about this on the podcast yet. What vehicle did you have before the EV? And why did you choose that?
We had a Honda Insight, and I called the other one a Honda Prius today. It was a Toyota Prius, wasn't it?
Toyota makes the Prius.
Okay, I totally mixed that up, didn't I? You didn't call me on it.
I was still shocked about the Prius stage of it.
No, we had a Honda Insight, which is basically a Prius. But I bought that in 2012. I was looking for, it was actually my very first vehicle. After getting a job back in Canada. Long story short, I got my license late, never lived in an area where I needed a vehicle up until about that time, or never had a job where I needed one either. So started looking around for electric or hybrid options. Being in Manitoba, there weren't many, especially used, but started kind of poking around, seeing what was available, and just by luck one came up on the used
Auto Trader
or something like that. I don't remember where I was looking through. Ended up buying it through a dealership had it that didn't really know what they had, and I got it for a really decent price, or at least I thought it was a decent price, and we've used it. That was 2012, so up to 2019, so good 7 years out of it. And it was already 3 years old, so it was a 2010 Honda Insight that had been bought in 2009, so that only had about 55,000 k on it when I bought it, and it came with hydro edge tires. I had to buy winter tires for it, but other than that, like, we did very little maintenance on it. I really loved it. I loved the feel of it. I loved the size just kind of worked for me for when I was single. It was just me, and it was mostly a commuter car around town.
Until parts started getting expensive for it. I missed a question. Why did you want an electric car? You kind of mentioned about the economics of it, but
electric. For me, it's mostly on the green requirements more than the economics of it. It's for in regards to climate change, to reduce my personal impacts, my family's impact, and for better like air quality and sound quality. As much as I love the city, I hate the noise of the city and all of the pollution and grossness that kind of comes with all the traffic.
So at least we come at this at completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I come at it for the pure speed and fun factor, and you come at it for the green.
Which is why my eyes cloud over when you start talking about all the technical parts.
What changes have you had to make or chose to make to your driving habits before getting, or not before, with getting into an electric, into the Hyundai Kona?
There's been some changes. I'd have to say with going from the Insight to the Kona, my driving style generally is pretty much the same. I use the regen braking a fair amount. I had it down to
the paddle deal, or just the letting off the accelerator?
Yes, the letting off the accelerator, regen braking in both of them. I had it down to a science. I knew exactly where it was in the Insight, and it took me probably a little bit longer in the Kona to get used to find that sweet spot of where to let go and to start getting used to using the paddle when I needed to brake a little quicker. I still I'm to the point where I'm letting off the accelerator at the right point most of the time now, but to use the paddle to get additional regen, it's still not automatic for me. I still have to think about it. We've had it, a month now?
Just over a month.
Yeah. Although you drive it more than I do, so.
We got almost 4,000 kilometers on it. I'm sure you've put a solid 500 kilometers on it. I guess, what is the best and worst feature for you, or item, about going to the Kona from the Honda Insight? Let's start with the best.
The best. My favorites. The warming the cabin, so you don't have to do
the preconditioning.
The preconditioning, so I don't have to worry about scraping. Plus, with our little one, the car seat's warm, and I don't have to worry about extra big snowsuits. And silly little things like I like the heated seats, which I didn't have in the Insight, and the intermittent wiper blades has many settings. Our old one had 4. It's the little things that make me happy.
The best part is you had a 2010 Honda Insight that didn't have heated seats, and I had a 2007 Hyundai Accent that had heated seats. What's up with Honda? I know you were talking about it earlier, so what interesting stories do you have of with the public, involving the public, with an electric vehicle? Any interesting experiences?
There's been a few looks, definitely, when you're trying to end up creeping up on somebody when they don't realize that there's a vehicle there. Just today, actually, we were heading to family for a birthday party and going to creep up to a parking space when somebody else had got out, and they didn't realize we were right behind them, and the guy turned around and basically jumped because it wasn't. We were almost right behind him, and he didn't hear us at all. Even with the sounds that the Kona actually makes a small sound at that low speed, but you don't register that as being a vehicle sound as a pedestrian right now. So it's interesting. And that person that we'd scared, actually, we ended up talking to them in the inside the party later, and they they said they were just completely flabbergasted that there was a car right behind them, because they had no idea, and then asked lots of questions, which is a good way to get people interested.
Nice. And what is the longest trip that I guess we've taken in an electric vehicle?
So far, it has been to Kenora and back, as much as you really want to go to every other far-flung place. Right now, it's only been to Kenora.
And so Kenora is about 220-ish kilometers, which would be approximately 140 miles one way. So about 280-ish miles both ways.
Yeah. So we went out there just for the day. We started with a full 100% battery, and with the climate on, the car was saying we had 442 kilometers to when we were leaving.
When we left Winnipeg to head to Kenora.
We were lucky that day on the way out. The wind was with us. We got a couple large trucks to draft off, so we ended up arriving with 50% battery left and 221 kilometers range.
So we could have made it there and back on the one charge, but I also just wanted to go out there because there was a new level 3 charger, and I can make it there, so why not give it a try? And so we spent kind of the afternoon there. I went for lunch, did a little bit of shopping and wandering because Kenora's a beautiful place. The level 3 charger was actually in an A&W parking lot, but it was a Petro-Canada charger. In talking with the employees there, they had said that Petro-Canada actually reached out to that owner to put the chargers there, and so Petro-Canada is reimbursing the A&W owner, I guess, for power and whatnot. They kind of just said power, so I'm not sure if there's like kind of a rental deal or how it's working. And then so we charged in, I think we charged for 45 minutes.
50 minutes.
Oh, 50 minutes.
Up to 85%. We got 27 kilowatts, and which gave us 381 kilometer range.
Yeah, so we went to 85%, and then we headed back. And we were actually doing pretty close to the same efficiency on the highway as we do in the city. Although we had to, there was probably 30-minute stretch of having to do almost city speeds because there was construction on the way back. But on the way back, we were coming into the wind. And
I don't have the final numbers.
And you don't have the final numbers.
I don't.
We did make a couple of pit stops on the way back, and we actually returned home with approximately 25%, and it had the
you put the picture up on your Facebook page.
See the beauty of having two people. One person is like multitasking and has the phone ready to actually find the info instead of you guys listening to me try to remember this. But here I am just killing time as she finds the picture. Oh, now she's showing it to me so that she doesn't have to speak. So the total trip was 445 kilometers, which would equate to roughly what? 250, 300 miles, somewhere in there. And our average usage was 16 kilowatts per hour. And it's saying that we were driving that day for 6 hours and 17 minutes. So, yeah. And we got back with still 105 kilometers remaining worth of range. And it seems to be pretty accurate on the range ratings. So, yeah. Anything else you'd like to discuss? Maybe your background as to what kind of led you into wanting to be greener and whatnot?
Well, it was always an interest, even from when I was younger, into environmental related activism and just interests. Currently, my profession is in the environmental field. So I've worked previously as an environmental manager for a large manufacturing company. And I'm continuing in that field.
So you've kind of always had the green bug. Interesting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I had this like animal WWF border. Remember when there used to be wallpaper borders around like rooms? Like that was a thing in the 90s that you would put borders like halfway up the
in
wall.
the 60s.
In the 90s, you put these little borders, these like little wallpaper borders halfway up, and there's these ones with all these little wildlife, and it was like a WWF border, and that was on my wall like when I was a like preteen. It stayed there pretty much through my teens, just because I never redid my room until my parents sold the house.
So we've always kind of come at this at opposite ends of the spectrum, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where mine has always been the cars and going faster, not getting in trouble. Where electrics just meet that criteria.
You should give everybody more reason to ask, why are we together?
Because we still want to be environmental. How about that? I have the worms. They do composting. It's all good.
You really don't need to help people.
But, yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up there. Little different. Something different. And we'll see how this goes. And I'll try to get more people, or all else fails, I'll try to recruit my wife to co-host a little more often, since she actually makes some sort of guideline for me. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you guys want to reach out to me, it's truenorthev@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook at True North EV Podcast. And so yeah, any questions, concerns, critiques, yeah, I'm okay. So, with hearing that, and you guys have yourself a great couple of weeks. Bye.